Hi, my name is Steve Cook. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at the Center for Assessment of Tobacco Regulation in the School of Public Health at the University of Michigan. I am primarily working on Project 3, and I'm lucky to be working under the supervision of Dr. Nancy Flesher and part of a great research team at Much of our current research has been focused on analyzing prospective longitudinal data to better understand the role of e-cigarettes in smoking cessation and to examine whether there is evidence of an association between e-cigarette use and cardiovascular and respiratory health outcomes among US adults. We're doing parallel studies with youth populations, and we're also doing research right now on the time varying association between coupon use and smoking cessation among adult smokers in the US. These different projects are all united by a similar methodology. We've been implementing discrete time survival models to quantify the association between e-cigarette use and combustible tobacco products on the conditional probability of smoking cessation and health-related outcomes using data from the PATH longitudinal cohort study. We believe that leveraging this nationally representative longitudinal data has several advantages that helps ensure our findings are robust and are generalizable to adults or to populations in the US. We feel that our research design limits potential concerns with reverse causation. We are confident that our research is improved by our ability to integrate time varying covariates to look at how our tobacco product use exposures vary over time. And finally, because PATH is such a rich data set with access to so many historical smoking variables, we are able to build in measures for cigarette pack years, which is a potential confounder in a lot of these research projects. So we're lucky to have this data, and we're trying to leverage it in a way to have meaningful research findings. It's important to note that our research does not formally incorporate computational modeling and simulation models. But the results from our prospective longitudinal research can and will be used to inform these models in the future. This is why it's great to be part of a big research team here at We know that our research will have an impact in the peer-reviewed literature, and we're looking at the short-term consequences of e-cigarette use and combustible tobacco use. But in the absence of longer cohort data, our results will also hopefully help to inform formal simulation models to better understand the downstream health consequences of tobacco product use. And we hope that this research will be useful for that purpose. So my academic journey is kind of a random walk. I didn't begin by studying tobacco regulatory science. I actually did my PhD in sociology at the University of Toronto. Following this, I took a lectureship at Cardiff University in quantitative methods and quantitative criminology. I taught courses on longitudinal methods at Cardiff. I've always been interested in kind of longitudinal studies, time series designs, and multi-level models to look at both the spatial and temporal aspects of a series of social problems. And now I'm trying to apply this kind of like general research design to tobacco regulatory science. One of the big appeals of this kind of research for me is the ability to do evidence-based research, which will be used by decision makers and read by decision makers. And so when I had the opportunity to kind of shift my career and to do this type of research, I was really excited and grateful for the opportunity. So as I become more integrated into the world of tobacco regulatory science, I hope that I can, add to the literature and make some kind of contribution that will be valued by my peers. So in terms of advice for others entering the field of tobacco regulatory research, I would first encourage you to find a niche, to look for questions that remain unanswered. There's a lot of work to be done in the field. The field is rapidly changing and evolving. And because it's changing so quickly, I would encourage new colleagues to use prospective longitudinal data where possible. to examine how things are changing over time, I think is an important area of future research. In terms of practical advice, I would just recommend that new researchers try to set aside any preconceived notions or assumptions about what they're going to find. And when you find a significant finding that you think is important, I would strongly encourage that you do a lot of robustness checks, a lot of sensitivity analyses, and try to include all relevant confounding variables that you can to make sure your findings are in fact robust. I think by doing this, you can ensure that your results are strong, but also limit any concerns about kind of your research methodology, and I think your contribution will be greater to the field. So I just want to end by saying, welcome to the field. If you're a new researcher, I look forward to reading your work in the future, and hopefully we'll be able to meet in person one day soon. Thank you.